So I'm assuming that, the text has been provided to me, or I've taken the time to format the text properly. In this case, I have 4 chapters of this book already set to go, individually separated. Um, so I'll click on chapter 1, um, click on open, and what we're going to be presented with here is this cursor which is loaded with text. So all this little paragraph here is showing you that we have text loaded, and if I click somewhere now, it's going to place this text. What's important is you actually have to remember that we created text frames. Remember, in our chapter content masters, we created and threaded those text frames. So if I can't just click anywhere and create new text frames, because that's crazy, what I want to do is bring my cursor close enough to the right area, and if I do, you'll see it turns into a white cursor, and there's like a little angle bracket. It might be in different places for you, but basically it's indicating that there's an existing text frame here which you can load up. So as long as the cursor is white, you can now click, hold on a second, take a deep breath, and boom, there it is. What it does is it actually creates the rest of your pages, which is fantastic. So even if you only have one page to start off with, I'm just going to undo real quick so we can do that again, right? Even if you start here, another quick way of doing it is to hold down the shift key. And you'll see as I press the shift key, the cursor changes to a little squiggly arrow. So if I do that, it also recognizes that there are text frames underneath and automatically populates them and creates all the pages, and the text automatically flows, and life is easy. Page numbering works. The predetermined placeholders are fantastic, and basically everything looks hunky-dory, except for one thing. I'm noticing here that my content hasn't been assigned any style. It's just raw content. So I can click on this now, and let's just click body text left to see what happens. I might have to select all, so double click, Control A, and click on body text left. Perfect. And here we can have a heading. Let's see if we can find subtitle. Ooh, I don't like that at all. Chapter title, section header. Ooh, a lot nicer there. So I can still do some custom formatting here as I go along. And as I go through the content, I'll just make sure I look at it very closely to avoid certain things. Now, one thing we want to avoid is this kind of business over here. Okay, it was just an exclamation mark. I thought it was something else. We want to do a very quick and thorough check through the text to make sure everything looks nice. All the pages. And we'll notice there's some stuff over here that might have been imported from the original text, which is not needed. So I'll do some quick edits here. Delete that. Make sure everything's nice and clean. And there you have it. You have your first chapter complete with very minimal effort. And I'll show you how easy it is to work on chapter 2, for example, while we're here. Again, we switch back to our folder. We find our template, double click. It's going to create a new InDesign layout for us. What we want to do is start by clicking the little triangle here, or just go to numbering and section options, whatever works for you. So this is section marker 2. This is going to be chapter 2. So we can either write 2 or the number. You get the idea. Automatic page numbering. Click OK. Beautiful. Shift and click, or I mean Control Shift and click to yes, Control Shift and click to unlock any master elements that are locked in the template up above. So for the text here, for the image below it, you can unlock these elements and customize them. So we'll place another image for chapter 2. Let's go find one somewhere else in the InDesign 1 folder. Ooh. There we go. And again, I have to remember that this container over here is set to 10% transparency. I want to bump that up to 100. And I want to make sure that my image fills the frame. So it zooms in and fills the frame accordingly. I can change the text over here and add new text and give it some styling. Try different things, whatever you like. And again, here on my internal page, I want to import some text. So let's browse to the text. For import, this is chapter 2. Open. And again, hold down the Shift key so you can paste your text in the existing document. Right? So as soon as you see those two little lines, or as soon as you see that cursor turn white, you're good to go. Click there, and it automatically creates the pages. This is automatically updated. You got your page numbers, and you're in business. Just give it a quick look to make sure that everything is looking okay. For example, here, this particular chapter includes a little poem, right? And here's a perfect opportunity to use some of these pre-built styles. So for poetry styles, you can now just say poetry body text, and it formats it in a nice specific way, right? Might want to add an extra carriage return somewhere just to break things up a bit, and all your text adjusts accordingly. Now, of course, these styles are just suggestions. You can change any one of these, but basically you would proceed to creating an entire book chapter by chapter using this quick method. As you saw, it takes about 3 minutes, maybe less, to create an entire chapter. And if your template is set up properly, the styling is a no-brainer. This one probably could use a few tweaks. I don't like how this chapter section works, or I could update some style so that it looks nicer, but for the most part, this thing is like quick and easy and gets the job done. So of course now you want to save as, because you want to save your actual InDesign chapters. And let's just save them here as chapters. And this would be, for example, chapter 2. Save and done. Now the point here is to save all your chapters and go to the next step, which is to combine them into a book. And through the book panel, you'll be able to organize everything, get the page numbering done for the entire book, and most importantly, create a table of contents automatically. And for that, we'll look at the next assignment.